Down 27 at halftime of an NBA Finals game, on the brink of falling behind in the series, the New York Knicks needed someone to refuse to lose. Jalen Brunson scored 36 points, dished 7 assists, stole the ball 3 times, and didn't commit a single turnover. He didn't just play well, he personally dragged his team through the largest comeback in Finals history. This is how Brunson authored a miracle. Here's the case for Brunson's night being an all-time great Finals performance. First, the stat line and how clean it really is. Then, the situation, what he was carrying when he did it. Then, the moments, the stretch where he took the game over. And finally, where this performance ranks in the story of this franchise. Every number is verified. Let's go. This is Game is Culture. If you like single performances broken down properly, hit subscribe. We're chasing 1,000. It's free and it genuinely helps. Now, the line. The stat line. Start with the numbers. 36 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals on 12 of 25 from the field. He added 3 threes and went 9 of 11 from the line. He played 44 minutes and carried the offense the entire way. This is a complete, do-everything performance, scoring, playmaking, and defending in the biggest game of the season. But here's the number that separates it from a normal big night. 0 turnovers, 36 points and 7 assists, and he didn't give the ball away a single time. In a frantic comeback, when the pressure is at its absolute highest and one careless pass can end your season, he protected the ball perfectly for 44 minutes. That's not just scoring, that's total control of a chaotic game. What he was carrying. Now remember the situation he did it in. His team was down 27 at the half, in front of their own crowd, getting embarrassed by a Spurs team setting records. A loss meant falling behind in the finals. That is the heaviest possible weight for a lead guard. Most players shrink under it. Brunson got bigger. He decided, basically by himself, that the season was not ending that night. And the math of the comeback runs straight through him. The Knicks outscored San Antonio by 28 points in the second half. With Brunson orchestrating, New York turned a record-breaking deficit into a 1-point win. When a team erases the largest deficit in Finals history, the ball is in one man's hands on most of those possessions. Tonight, those hands belong to the captain. On efficiency, this wasn't empty volume either. A 60 true shooting percentage on 36 points means he scored in bulk without wasting possessions. Exactly what you need when you're trying to climb out of a hole and can't afford bricks. High volume and high efficiency at the same time in the finals is the rarest combination in basketball. Brunson hit it on the perfect night. The takeover. As the Knicks clawed back, the building tilted on every Brunson touch. He got downhill, drew fouls, and kept getting to the line. 9 trips, 9 chances to chip the lead down a point at a time. Watch the deficit fall from 27 to 0, and his fingerprints are on the entire climb. The comeback didn't happen around him, it happened because of him. And the 3 steals matter as much as the points. In a comeback, you need stops, and Brunson, who isn't known as a defensive star, came up with 3 live ball steals that turned into offense going the other way. Those are swing plays, the kind that flip a building's energy. He was scoring at one end and taking the ball away at the other, which is how one player tilts an entire game. He also had help, and a great leader makes sure of that. Karl Anthony Towns gave him 13 points and 10 boards on red-hot shooting and a team-best plus 17. Brunson's 7 assists found shooters in rhythm. The captain didn't just go score 36 in a vacuum. He lifted the players around him exactly when they needed it most, which is the whole job. Where this ranks. Frame it against the moment. 36 points, 7 assists, 0 turnovers, 3 steals, 60 true shooting in the largest comeback in Finals history. Stack the box score next to the stakes and it's the resume of a signature, career-defining playoff performance. The kind players are remembered for decades later. And the context of the franchise makes it bigger. The Knicks haven't won a championship since 1973. Their fans have waited more than half a century for a player to carry them in a moment like this. On the night the lights were brightest and the hole was deepest, their captain delivered the performance that pushed them to the doorstep. That's how legends get written in this city. And it lifted the Knicks to a 3-1 series lead, one win away from the title. A performance like this doesn't just win a game, it changes the math of a championship. Brunson now has his team in control of the finals, and he did it by authoring the greatest comeback the event has ever seen. That is the definition of a franchise-altering night. The fair note. One game doesn't crown anyone, and the Spurs are dangerous, with Game 5 on their floor. Brunson will have to do it again to finish the job, and San Antonio will throw everything at slowing him down. But nobody can take this night back. Whatever happens next, he already authored a comeback that will be replayed for as long as they play this game. Because that's the thing about performances like this. The stat line is incredible on its own, 36, 7, and 0 turnovers. But it's the timing that makes it immortal. Down 27, season slipping away, biggest stage in the sport, and he was the steadiest man on the floor. That combination, talent plus ice in the veins, is what turns a very good player into a finals legend. And it's worth remembering how he got here. Brunson wasn't a #1 overall pick or a prepackaged superstar. He's a player who has had to prove himself at every single level, and nights like this are the payoff. When the moment was biggest, the guy who was doubted the most was the one who refused to blink. So there it is, Jalen Brunson, 36 points, 7 assists, 3 steals, no turnovers, and the largest comeback in NBA Finals history on his shoulders. The question now is whether he can finish what he started and end a 53-year wait. Is this the best Finals performance you've seen this decade? Tell me below, and if you want every chapter of this run, subscribe and join the family.